Proceedings from our last meeting. Has everybody had a chance to read that?
Yes.
Any changes?
Yeah, just on page 5, Bucci's is spelled wrong, but I didn't see anything else. So it's 2 C's and no H. I'll make a motion to approve
I'll second.
with that
Clerk, we
correction.
have a motion and a second. Would you call the vote, please?
Mr. Archman?
Yes.
Mr. Kreider?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
We have one item listed on the agenda tonight under old business, and that's legislation 6, DORA 2026. Clerk, would you read that, please?
Ordinance authorizing the creation of a designated outdoor refreshment area, DORA, within the downtown.
Okay, we've had some discussion on this in the past couple of meetings. We have Evelyn here tonight to answer any questions. Evelyn, do you have anything to add?
Thank you. Evelyn Warren on Mixed Regional Planning. You know, the main thing is as we walked the district and talked to people on all ends of the, east, west, we didn't really, I'm gonna say, we did not go south and north because they had been kind of pulled when we first created the boundaries to extend it to them, and they were in favor, so we kind of presume they're still in favor. But we did get comments, and so the only real changes were at the, kind of that eastern end by the church, by Epworth Church. The suggestion is take it to the next street, which is High Street. And then we did double check, there was concern about what used to be Mac West, and now it is no longer Mac West. Out here on the western edge next to the funeral home, but we went ahead and took the funeral home out because that maybe doesn't need to be in, but the apartment complex wanted to remain in. So those would be the only physical changes. There was, I think, also one on the north side of East Center Street. If you recall, there's Bohemian Besoms.
No, new Realtor facility there.
Okay, and then.
And the hair studio,
Right, so they all wanted to stay in,
Yeah.
but then there is an apartment or a structure that has housing in it. So I kind of cut out the house and then kept all the businesses in. So there's only one parcel.
Right here.
Yeah, tried
Right
to
there, yeah.
pull them out just to be consistent there, but then keep all the rest of them in. So really just trying to keep houses and sensitive or, disapproving businesses out. If this is something you wanted to do, then I would go through the actual document that goes with it, which sets up where are we gonna put the garbage cans, where are we gonna put the signs? Do you want to alter the speed limit within the district? Things like that, in more detail. But otherwise, if nobody cares about any of that, we'll just come up with new maps and new boundaries, and it would all more or less stay the same in terms of the document, and then submit it to the Department of Commerce Liquor Control for approval. So it'll take some time to get the document to match a new map, and we have to do what addresses, and, it gets a little detailed. And then I'm not certain of the entire process when we send it to the Department of Liquor Control. So my guess is if it came out of committee, goes to council at some point, now or later, council approves a change. It'll still probably take a few months before the Department of Liquor gives it its blessing. And then at that point, then the 5 years start again.
Okay. Anybody from committee have anything?
Well, with the question on speed limit, I'm looking at this, and the majority of this is 25,
Correct.
except Main Street is 15 for that one block. I think once you get past, well, this is George Street, right? Or-
Yeah, it goes up to Main Street, up to George.
Yeah, because I think that's where it switches to 35, doesn't it? I don't know, Chief. Where's it, on the North Main Street, where's it switched to 35?
North of Clerks.
Oh, way.
Oh, so way out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so pretty much everything in here is 25 except for that block of Main Street, which is 15. So I don't think we need to worry about speeds.
Chair, just on that 15 miles an hour on Main Street, we were just advised by the state. We had a meeting with ODOT a week or two ago. They said you can't, they said, just by the way,
It's a state
the
highway.
15 mile an hour on Main Street is not legal, you're not allowed to have that.
Okay, so it's-
So we haven't taken the sign down yet, but that's on the list of things to be remedied. So I wouldn't advise making any more 15 mile an hour
No,
in that door.
Okay.
Just wanted to bring that up.
Would it become 15, I mean, 25?
25.
Yeah, because it's a state highway, that's the,
No, not far.
It's not state highway.
oh, okay.
They said you can't
Okay.
go over
Okay,
25
good.
miles.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay, anything else, Dan?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Scott?
I'm easy.
So the little jog for the north part of East Center Street by High, so you did you go down the alley by Co-works there, by the Hope Church? So the Hope Church is not included in
Correct.
it, but Connect Co-works is. So
Correct.
that's the dividing line, okay.
So that does eliminate about 3 churches, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Epworth, the Hope Church, and there's
Salem.
another one.
Salem,
Thank you.
yeah. So, yeah, because Connect Co-works, they have their little patio area in
Right,
the
they
back, and
definitely
so,
want to.
yeah,
I
and
wouldn't
so
want
forth,
to
okay.
accidentally exclude them from it.
Okay. And just as a reminder to everybody that we did get the support, I guess, surveys from the downtown folks that you went through and surveyed, but Epworth submitted one that they did not want to be a part of that. That was by Reverend Bass. So that's, that was part of this last meeting we saw that. So the other thing too, just as a reminder, I was like, because this is such a long process in having to do this, it would make sense to look at the whole area, just because if we forgot something inadvertently, we wouldn't have to start the whole process all over again. That's the findings of on West Center Street and so forth. So just, we're just doing an adjustment. Okay.
So what's the feeling of the committee? Is this something we can send forward?
I'd like to make that motion to send forward to council with a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Clerk, we have a motion and a second. Could you call the vote, please?
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Kreider?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Okay, that concludes that. That's the only business that we have tonight. We have no new business, so the matter is not on the agenda. Anyone from the administration have anything? Not on.
I'm going to make, since we're beginning the new school year, I want to make, since it's obviously with legislations and codes and so forth, to remind everybody to watch for the kids going to school and to stop for the school buses. It's very important. I don't know how many times I see every year, beginning of the school year, I'm on Center Street, how many vehicles pass school buses. So please be aware of and take extra care with that. I believe not only with the safety concerns with the kids and everybody at hand. I think, Chief, it's like a $500 fine for that.
I don't know, but it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. So that's all I have.
Okay. Anybody from the audience have anything for matters not on the agenda pertaining to legislation and codes? Hearing nothing. Meeting adjourned, 6:39.
See ya. Bye.
Excuse me, sir.
Info systems. Get the pleasure of being on all 3 committees tonight. By the way, how are you? Good. Danny, how are you?
I am not bad.
Good.
Not great, but not bad.
You guys ready?
I had to shave that crap off though.
No.
Ready? It's 6:40 PM. We'll call the Information Systems Committee to order. Clerk, would you call roll, please?
Mr. Arschmidt,
Here.
Mr. Rollins,
Present.
Mr. Clark.
Here.
We do have a summary of proceedings that's on the back of our agenda sheet. You had a chance to review those.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Look, we have a motion and a second to approve the meeting minutes. Would you take call vote, please?
Mr. Arschmidt,
Yes.
Mr. Rollins.
Yes.
Mr. Clark.
Yes.
We have one item of new business, Information Systems 2, auditing software. Clerk, would you read that ordinance, please?
Ordinance authorizing and directing the city auditor to enter into a contract with Software Solutions, Inc., SSI, and Right Stuff Software on behalf of the city of Marion for the replacement of the city's computer software system and related software and declaring an emergency, including pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 735.051.
Thank you. So we have an ordinance here that desires to take us from the New World system to Software Solutions for our accounting software and for Right Stuff, I believe, for the payroll, or correct? Mr. Mayor, you have anything?
I do. So, in summary, this really should be no surprise to anybody. We've been working on this for quite a while now. This has been a team project with representatives from Information Systems, Finance, our senior staff. We have spent the last year meeting with a few different companies, revisiting things with New World and our current company, and we feel like we're ready to put the tire to the road and move forward with Software Solutions and Right Stuff. Actually, Software Solutions would be the finance accounting software that the city would use. It would also have payroll or utility billing, all of the things that we need it to do, and it is a cash-based system. The company is from the Ohio region, has over 500 customers in Ohio. We checked with several references that they provided. Other cities similar to our size and structure. One of the first places we looked was right across the street at the county. The county's been on this system for about 8 years, are very happy with the system. I actually have a representative from the company, Brandon Easterline, is here tonight. He, amongst other people from his company and also from Right Stuff, have met with us several times over the last year. We finalized that probably 3 weeks ago, kind of our big question answer sessions and making sure that we had the right software and modules that we would need to move forward with that. The Right Stuff software is a time management, timekeeping software that is also an Ohio-based company that started out with police and fire, and then branched out into entire cities instead of just doing police and fire. But because they started out doing police and fire, when we showed that to fire and police, they were ecstatic at the things that they had to offer as far as scheduling, manpower, staffing. Fire department schedules are an anomaly kind of thing with just how they're structured and how they're set up. Police department schedules can be very different also. But they were very impressed with what Right Stuff software had. They in turn would do the rest of our city also. So the guys down at the city garage would clock in on a clock in still, and we have another clock in somewhere else here in the city. So we have 2 stations where people actually clock in. Other people would clock in via the app on their phone or their desk or their computer. And then Right Stuff software submits in conjunction with Software Solutions, gives that information to them to actually do the payroll. So the payroll, W-2s, all those kind of things would come from the information that is provided by Right Stuff Software. So we have, like I said, we have worked with them. The price for both of those software solutions comes out to about $269,000, somewhere give or take a few dollars. I wanted to also mention that back early on when we started talking about getting away from the New World software, which was part of our recovery plan both times that we submitted that. It has been a suggestion from the beginning from the state for us to move to a cash-based system like software solution. I want to assure everybody, because I've heard a few things, a few concerns, that this New World, number one, this process is going to take, from the day we sign the contract, it's going to take anywhere from 15 to 18 months to get this system implemented and up and working. So in the meantime, we'll be running two systems side by side as we progress with software solutions. And then when we're ready to cut free, for lack of a better term, when we're ready to go live with software solutions, everything that's in New World right now will remain there. Just because we're going to stop using it, everything will be locked down, it will be held, because there's always been some questions about things that might have happened 10 years ago, did somebody do something wrong 10 years? We're going to have that information still. So if we ever get to a point in time that for some reason we can afford to do some kinds of forensic audit, which is very, very expensive, and we need to figure out something, we will have that information to figure those things out. So that's, the other thing I wanted to mention, back when we first started talking about this, the Marion Municipal Court, in some conversations with Judge Ballinger, had mentioned that she may be able to provide us some funding from her computer fund, and we were able to get a commitment from her for $50,000 to go toward this software. So the remaining part of that would come from our general fund, from our capital line. It's spread out. We pay 10% when we sign the contract, and we pay 60% once they get the sandbox up and running, and then we pay the rest once we go live. So not all of that money would ever come out of all of this year or next year probably. So it's going to be spread out over that 15 to 18 month period. Kind of all I got. I'm sure there's going to be questions, but as I said, with this taking 15 to 18 months, I wanted to get it in committee, hopefully get it out of committee and on to council, so we can have readings on this and continue to move forward and answer any questions that council may have, that the citizens may have, as far as us moving forward with this project. It's really it's a need, not a want or a luxury. We need to move forward. We know that, the state knows that, and we're trying to take those steps to make that happen.
Thank you. I
Yes, sir.
appreciate that. So basically what I'm hearing is that we're looking at $269,000 minus the 50 from Judge Ballinger's coffers. And then we're looking at what, $98,000 a year after that for maintenance?
Yes, so the annual maintenance contract, which any software company you deal with is going to have an annual maintenance contract, whether it's software we use in dispatch, for the CAD and records management system. This contract for maintenance currently would be $98,000 a year, for locked in for 3 years, and then renegotiated at the end of that 3-year period.
Just for information purposes, what are we paying New World now for maintenance?
So we have been paying New World
$154,000.
$154,000 for 40-some modules. After doing an audit on those modules at my discretion, we were able to lower that by 28 or so modules. We just got a new invoice today for $74,900 for the modules that we kept.
Is there any possibility of going back and recouping some?
I
of
don't
that?
see any possibility of that happening.
Okay. All right.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to stress, I think the mayor was kind of kind in his statement. I was in the meeting with the state. We talked specifically about continuing with the software. And it wasn't a, well, we'll talk about it when you get there. It was, you cannot proceed with New World. It was an absolutely, you need to continue down this avenue. So I just wanted to stress that, that point. They were pretty committed to understanding that we needed to move to a cash-based system, that we were never going to get back on track with reconciliations, continuing on with New World. So this is a best-case scenario for sure. I just want to, one thing, the last time we had a major transition, we recall moving to ADP, was an absolute nightmare in the auditor's office and the treasurer's office. So I just want to make sure the auditor and the treasurer are both committed to that it's going to be a lot of work, ton of work. Okay.
Just to add to that, so back when we did ADP, I didn't really have a teamwork environment where I could go down and say, you know, is this getting done, is that getting done? And we got to make sure we have that we meet almost daily here. Whether it's Chelsea or somebody in the auditor's office, somebody will be assigned to this transition, and that will be their main function for 15 to 18 months until we get this implemented. So we will make sure that we stay on top of that, and at some point that we're able to get everything back under one umbrella that works for us and get payroll in that umbrella, so it's not a separate entity, we're going to be all the better for it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, thank you, Chair.
Mr. Clark?
Well, I'm looking at the numbers here on the maintenance. And, you know, if you've got the New World down to around 75,000 per annum, and it's 98, then that's going to be basically 175,000 to run both systems for a year. And so that's only, what, that's 21,000 over what we were paying just basically for New World. So
For years.
yeah, per year, right. So I'm thinking it's doable. I was concerned when I first did this, you know, about what the numbers were going to be, but I think that's doable without putting us in a bad position.
So when we first started going down this path, I will be the first to say I was worried about what the cost was going to be. So once we ended up getting finally to talking cost and where I felt it was manageable for us, we really have no choice. I mean, we do have a choice. We can continue on like we are now and bury our heads in the sand from here to China and just not pay attention to it, but it's not going to get any better. And it's not going to get any better until we fix it and move forward in the right direction.
Anything else from the committee?
Rob
Mr.
Rob
Russo? What?
Rob had a
Oh, no, okay. Mr. Uline, do you have something you'd like to add?
Nothing major. First off, thank you all.
State your name and company.
Brandon Easterling with Software Solutions. First off, thank you all for having us out. Nothing major. Bill outlined it fairly well. But the one thing that I will say is we've spent a lot of time with the city, and with this project, we've outlined pretty clearly what is beneficial to move forward, what is not. One thing that stuck out that Bill had mentioned was the city went from 140 modules to 70 and some change, something like that. And we have spent extensive time figuring out what's not needed, and we've actually pulled things out of the project because we've both been pretty transparent. This is not beneficial at the time. That's all I have. So.
Okay. A couple of things I would like to say up front, I suppose, is I do not have a problem with the declaring an emergency part because I know that that clause will allow this to go into effect immediately on the mayor signing it if it's approved. What I would like to do is I want to hold this until our next committee meeting to give the public a chance to research, to come up with your questions, and present those at committee. And hopefully we will have the answers and be able to forward that on to full committee, full council, after all those questions are answered for you. Do we have any comments or questions from the audience tonight? Yes, Ms. Lupke. Let me remind you that my rules still stand, and tonight we're at 5 minutes.
Teresa Lipke, 555 Normandy Drive. Just a clarifying question. Mr. Clark, you talked about paying the maintenance for both New World and SSI, but will that ever happen, or is that contract amount of $269,000 get you to when you're moving completely to SSI? Or will you pay the maintenance fee? Will there be an overlap of when you're paying both maintenance?
There's a good chance there's going to be an overlap, because we're talking 15 to 18 months total in process, so.
Right, I just didn't know if that initial payment of $200,000 covered that whole 18-month time period until you were live using SSI.
Yeah.
And
Got ya.
apparently not.
No, yeah, so I guess it's a little confusing. The systems have to run parallel.
Right.
But the payments for SSI will be broken into 3,
Right,
right? Yeah, so it'll be like chunks between
yes,
those months.
I get that.
Yeah.
When does the $98,000 maintenance fee start? After you finish paying that one big lump?
So,
Go ahead.
Or I mean paid lump over 3 times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So break it out into two segments, if you will, the upfront implementation.
right,
That's hitting it, so that's gonna be the 3 installments, if you will.
got
When
it.
the city is given the hosting database, it's a cloud-based system, that is when the annual maintenance will begin. That's typically, it varies, typically anywhere from 90 to 120 days after contract is initiated.
Okay,
You start the project.
okay, yep.
Does that answer your?
Yep, that answered the question, so there will be that overlap, so. Mr. Smith, I appreciate that you want public input, but I'm not sure that this is something that the public's gonna have a lot of information on. I mean, it sounds like, I mean, we can't do the research that the staff in the auditor's office did. I'm not sure the value in holding it for 2 weeks, so I would encourage you to move forward at this committee meeting.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll make that motion to send this on to committee with, or to council with a recommendation to approve.
I still have questions, and I don't hear a second.
That's fine, it's your meeting, sir.
Mr. Daniel.
So 8 Decatur Street, I guess I'm wondering, we're talking about a period of 15 to 18 months. I mean, are we eventually, because it sounded like that we're bringing New World to an end. Are we going to pursue another entity with, other than New World? Because
Mr. Daniels, that's exactly what we're talking about. We're gonna replace New World with Software Solutions and Right Stuff software. So we wouldn't be replacing one with the other, but it takes that 15 to 18 month time frame to get the other one up and running and all of the data put into that it's going to need in the operating system to move us forward.
I would imagine that it's not going to be without some growing pain, so to speak, considering that.
I've never done anything in City Hall that didn't come without a few growing pains. I'll tell you that.
So.
Probably since January 1st,
Or you just,
2024.
Software solutions.
He's from Software Solutions, right. And that's a good point. So I will say that we didn't go after a Cadillac here. You know, back when New World was rolled out, it was touted to be the Cadillac, and maybe that's why there were so many modules that we never used for years and years and years. And this one, I think we're at 6, maybe something like that. But we have only the modules that we're going to need here. So we might have a trusty dusty Crown Victoria that's going to last forever. So we're hoping that. And our reputation is riding on it, right? I mean, we're not going to bring this to council and the public lightly. We've done our homework, we've looked into it, we've looked into the companies, and we're satisfied with what our decision is. So we're hoping that you guys will be too.
okay, I just wondered, because it's like I've heard nothing but problems with New World ever since it was installed back in 2009, I believe.
And that's why we're getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
thank you very much. Ms. Mayor?
Mary Gifford Street. So, we're just like not gonna do a forensic audit on the other stuff like at all? I meant, so,
Miss Mayor, I wish I could answer that for you, but number one, I've never seen any legislation put forth to do that. Number two, I know that it is extremely, extremely expensive to do that. And I guess there hasn't been a smoking gun type case presented yet that says we absolutely need to have that done. Now, once we're done with 22, 23, 24 audits, maybe there will be something in there that tells us we better go back and look at a particular time frame. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. If a forensic audit comes up, I'm sure it will be up to this council to decide whether they feel that's warranted and justifies the cost of what that might cost.
well, I know they are expensive and everything, but, we were just talking about modules and like, didn't we like not use the reconciliation module for the other New World? Like we didn't really use that module.
Not for a long period of time. It's being used now, but it hadn't been used prior to.
But it's reasons like that I think we should have a forensic audit, is my point. I'm like, at some point, you
Well,
know,
Can I jump in here?
yeah.
Yeah, so one of the things that I think is important to know is that when we transition to the new software, we're going to archive the last 2 to 3 years of the city's finances with New World. So if we have to go back and do that forensic audit, we have the ability to do that.
And I hear that. 2 to 3 years isn't far enough, in my opinion. I would want to go back a little bit farther than that because,
Well, we should be good through the audits, right?
I don't know.
I would say yes. Once we get the audit back from 22, 23, 24, I would think if the state's given the blessing on the financial records at that point.
I think I can add something to that. I have pushed for a forensic audit for many months now. I have not brought forth any legislation because I know that it's going to cost anywhere from $1 million to $1.5 million. And the city cannot afford that. So what I was hoping to happen was that with the fiscal emergency, with the Secretary of State and the findings and things like that, that somebody would step up and say, these people need a forensic audit. That hasn't happened yet. So we're faced with a question of, do we wait for that to happen, or do we want to introduce legislation and force the city into spending another $1.5 million that we don't have? I would love to see a forensic audit. If nothing else, just to soothe the minds of everybody. But that's $1.5 million.
It's the whole reason I
Exactly, mine too.
stepped foot in this place to begin with. is-
Mine too.
And then just one other note, so there was some, in all prior, old, not you guys, council, how they were talking about how all the departments in the city have funds, and the mayor mentioned that Mrs. Judge Ballinger is gonna give you guys $50,000. I'm only mentioning this is because I remember there was another councilman that talked a lot about her hoarding money. So I'm like, it's nice that she's going to like give us $50,000 and all, but if her department's got a lot of money, I mean, it just seems a little odd. I know that's just a little bit of a ramble, but yeah, my main thing was is the reconciliation module not being used in the forensic audit. And we're just kind of like, I don't like New World either, even though I don't know much about it, but I just don't want to rush into something else either.
All right, thank you. I believe I saw your hand.
I'm on the Ward Regional Planning. My question is more to Software Solutions, because we do use SSI over at the county building, but when we do payroll, at least a normal department, we can just put it right into time card entry. But I know that with the safety services, they have different, so does this, what you had a name for the other
Right stuff.
Right stuff. Do we know that works well with software? Okay, so that's tried and true, so good.
Yep.
Okay. And kind of on that too, I have talked to Right Stuff, and they will have a representative here on September 8th at 6:30, which is our next committee meeting. Mr. Derek Shaw will be here. So any questions that we might have for Right Stuff, we can ask at that time. Mr. Barr.
Sean Barr, First Ward City Council. I can attest to what Mr. Rollins said. I was in that meeting also, and I asked him the pointed question. Are we because of this declaration of fiscal emergency, are we handcuffed to New World in this process? Or because we've been talking with Software Solutions, looking at these other programs, and they said by all means, move forward with that. We have to get away from New World. And I'd also encourage us to get this out of committee in front of council, because it's a 15 to 18 month transition. Right now, we have the luxury of having the state auditors team here for 2 years, free of charge. They will be a part of this transition, and I don't think we could ask for a better situation to be able to go into this. So I'd encourage this committee to get this out, get it in front of council.
Thank you. Mayor.
My suggestion would be, I don't know why we would have to rehash it in committee again if we make it available during a council meeting.
I'm not sure
For the
either.
same-
I made a motion,
for
and
the same-
nobody seconded.
For the same, I mean, I'm sure I can get a hold of Derek at Right Stuff, and he could be here for the actual council meeting in case anybody has any questions. Right Stuff is a very small portion of this overall program, so to hold it up just to make sure that he's here and available, we could do that at a council meeting without having to wait a whole nother 2 weeks to go to committee and then back to council again. That's what I would ask for.
My concern is that tonight is the first time these people have heard about it. And there may be people out there, although nobody here seems to have any technical expertise or anything like that, they may not have any questions, but there may be people in the citizenry that do have questions, and I would like to give them a chance to be heard. Mr. Barr, you had something else? No one else has raised their hand?
Sean Barr, First Ward City Council. Also, the county uses Software Solutions. We have access to help right across the street. Those systems communicate when we're sending stuff across the street as far as property taxes and our portion of it. This system handles all that. Am I correct? These systems are going to work together and communicate. It's going to lighten the load for our auditor's office and get us on track. So I urge us to get this out of committee, and then we can have these discussions in full with council.
Any other comments from the audience?
Mr. Chairman, if I might?
Yes.
This is also on the Finance Committee agenda. It has to
Yes.
go out of this committee so that Finance can discuss it next.
Right.
I will second.
You will
Yes,
second?
I will.
Okay. Clerk, we have a motion and a second. Please call the vote, please.
Mr. Arschman?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
So this goes on to full council. No other business to discuss. We're on to matters not on the agenda. Anyone have anything pertaining to information systems?
You need the information.
Yeah, the IT committee, this committee here.
Okay, I thought you were finance, but I was going to.
No, that's next.
Next.
Finance will be next.
Not for that.
Okay. Anyone else? Meeting adjourned 7:09. Good job, I think we got that.
It just sounds too emergent to let it go another
Oh,
2 weeks.
absolutely. We need to get, I can tell you the state was pretty adamant, we need to get the hell off of New World.
It's an add-on. It didn't make it. in
What is this
time.
for?
It's an add-on. It didn't make it in time for the deadline, so he's got some more to hand out.
Okay.
But it's a grant.
Okay. Okay, this is here.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay, no, I want to do what's best for the city, I don't care. My thought was to give people a chance.
Yeah, but they, not many people understand.
Actually,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You're gonna have to get out.
this is your phone. Put it in my pocket.
Hey, you know,
It's smaller.
This will
you get those strange 2 o'clock phone calls from the plant, like, you need help?
I'd say. Just do what's
Appreciate that, Ralph. All right, 7:10, we will call Finance Committee to order. Clerk, could you please take the roll?
Mr. Rollins,
Present.
Mr. R. Smith,
Here.
Mr. Clark.
Here.
All right, we do have minutes from the last meeting of August 3rd. Has committee had an opportunity to review those?
I have one correction. In the first line under proceedings, it says the Finance Committee meetings from July 20th were presented, and our Chair Rollins noted that a spelling error was present. I think that was me that noted that with the Clark, Schaber, and Hackett. Other than that, I make a motion, we approve.
I'll second.
Clerk, I have a first and a second to approve a motion to approve and a second to approve the minutes from August 3rd. Could you please take the roll?
Mr. Rollins,
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Clark.
Yes.
Along with that, I have the signed credit card review. All right, first item of old business is audits. Do we have any updates on the 22, 23, 24 audit process or the reconciliation process?
23 is almost near the end right now. Not, it's yet to be, 22 is near the end, and 23 is halfway there. So that's.
Are we still thinking reconciliations for 23 will be complete by the end of August?
They're already done.
They're done? Fantastic.
They're done with us just waiting to go to Clark, Schaefer, Hackett.
Okay,
And actually, Ron is working on 24 as we speak.
okay.
Excellent.
Making progress. Love it.
And I'm working on
What?
25. I'm working on.
You're working on 25?
Awesome.
Any questions from committee?
None from me.
No.
Any questions from the citizens? Seeing none, we'll move on to penalties and appeals. I was notified just prior to the meeting that we did receive notification from the IRS. However, it was a good one.
Awesome.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the auditor informed me that there was correspondence received from the Internal Revenue Service, but it is a refund of an overpayment associated with our 941s for the first quarter of this year. So it would have been in the January period prior to the former auditor's resignation. But it is an overpayment. It is a credit back because there was too much money paid along with the coupon that goes with the 941 report. So.
Awesome.
I will say there was also $500 that was credited in that IRS statement that we are looking into whether or not that was credited toward a previous penalty or what that went toward. So there will be more to come on that. No other notifications from the IRS in terms of penalties? Any questions from committee on
None from me.
None.
penalties? Questions from citizens? Seeing none, we will move on to new business. First item of new business is the insurance proceeds. Clerk, could you please read?
Ordinance making additional appropriations to the insurance proceeds fund year ending December 31st, 2026.
All right, this is in regard to monies held by the city from insurance proceeds related to fire losses. Is there anything you'd like to add with regard?
This is for 2 Avenue, but it was from a claim from 2021. They're just now getting around to getting the approval for them to be able to pay it back or pay it out to the person.
Any questions from committee?
None.
Questions from citizens? Seeing none, I'm going to make a motion, we send this to council with a recommendation to approve.
I'll second.
I have a second. Clerk, could you please take the roll?
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mr. Archman?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
All right, moving on to item number 4, engineering reappropriation. Clerk, could you please read?
Ordinance to deappropriate funds from the service department and to reappropriate said funds to the engineering department, both within the general fund.
Okay, so this comes to us from the Office of Management and Budget. This is just moving some funds between accounts, so add some clarity.
Yeah, this one's a little confusing. So within the general fund, you have the different departments, one being service and the other being engineering. With us not having the high grass program this year, our engineer has been the one going out and mapping these things, so they've used more fuel than what they previously expected. When the budget was put together, we had additional funds available or appropriations available from the service department. Then we no longer have the service director. We have the combined position. So we wanted to move some of those monies from service down to engineering to cover that fuel cost for them going out.
Just one small item. When it goes to full council, could you make sure that the balances are on here?
You wanna, okay.
Yeah, just because somebody's going to ask, so for clarity.
Sure.
Thank you.
But within the general fund, there's no change.
Understood.
Okay.
Questions from committee?
None from me.
Questions from citizens?
I'll make a motion, we move this on to full council with a recommendation to approve.
I'll second.
Clerk, I have a recommendation to send this to council with a recommendation to approve and a second. Could you please take the roll?
Mr. Rollins?
Yes?
Mr. Archman?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
All right. There was item number 5, Information Systems Auditing Software. Clerk, could you please read?
Ordinance authorizing and directing the city auditor to enter into a contract with Software Solutions, SSI, and Right Stuff Software on behalf of the city of Marion for the replacement of the city's computer software system and related software and declaring an emergency, including pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 735.051.
Okay, so this we just heard about in the previous committee. This is the Software Solutions and Right Stuff Software. Are there any additional questions from committee?
Just that the money for this is coming from the capital improvement fund, correct?
So it's split between capital and then the court computerization.
Correct. Any questions from citizens? Seeing none, I will make a motion to send this to council with no recommendation at this point.
Have a second?
Clerk, could you please take the roll?
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mr. Archman?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
All right, there was one item not on the agenda for a Homeland Security Program Fund for the Marion Fire Department. Clerk, could you please read?
Ms. Berman?
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, I gave all my copies away.
Oh. Yeah, this is it.
A resolution establishing a state Homeland Security Program Fund for the receipt and expenditures, I can never say that word.
Expenditure.
Of state Homeland Security Program grant funds.
All right, so my understanding, this is a state Homeland Security Program grant. This will award us roughly $18,000 for some hazmat gear.
Yes,
Is that correct?
Yes, we were awarded the grant. There's no match or anything. It's a federal grant. It requires us to create a separate fund to track it.
Okay. What will we be using it for?
It's replacing suits that were taken out of service due to age,
Okay.
and a suit tester. So there's about 12 suits and a suit tester.
Fantastic. Questions from committee?
Not from me.
None.
Questions from citizens? Please.
280 Decatur Street. When I was in the service, they were introduced. Now, are they hard units where it requires that help from another person to basically step into the suit? And then,
Yeah, they're fully encapsulated. Yep.
so that
SCBA and
means if
everything.
you get in, you can't get out without help.
You can cut your way out, but.
Because I mean, I wore one of those about 30 years ago, kind of like that with the base plate and everything, and you had to have getting in there and then getting out. But I'm just curious about what we were going to end up with. I mean, how many of these suits are we supposed to get?
Yeah, there's 12 in this batch.
12?
Yeah. And the suits they're replacing are on the order of 20 years old.
And we're probably not going to be talking about the one that I was talking about then. Be kind of neat because you could walk through anything with those things.
Yeah, and typically, I will add that when there's a spill, we normally bill the spiller for replacement suits, but this is kind of like above and beyond. These are suits that we need for inventory that were just so old that we need to replace them.
Okay, that's all.
Any further questions from the public? Seeing none, I will make a motion to send this on to council with a recommendation to approve.
Second.
Clerk, I have a second. Could you please take the roll?
Mr. Rollins?
Yes,
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
And that was to approve, correct?
that is correct.
Just to verify which one of you two had the second, because you both got it. Okay.
Doesn't matter.
I just want to make sure I got the right thing.
All right, that concludes all items on the agenda. Are there any matters that need to come before finance? I thought you said you had some.
I guess.
I'm giving you,
I guess I had a few concerns about when this commission from the governor and the auditor was going to come together. And I'm pretty sure that once it finally comes together, one of the questions that's going to come up is that Ohio Health is desirous to purchase the hospital and the property thereof. And I imagine that's eventually going to come up before the commission. So I don't really know what to say about it. I just decided to put it out in front because what I understand is that the county, until a few years ago when money was talked about, they walked away from the whole thing back in the 70s and the 80s, and basically the city picked up the whole thing. And supposedly that the building is split between the county and the city, and then the property itself is owned by the city. Now, if you sell that, how much does the county get, and how much does the city get? And I imagine you would want to get a pretty good price for it if you do decide to sell it, because right now we're paying about $150,000 each to the county and the city because of the lease for the next 18 years. So, I just figured I'd throw that out there because I know that's probably going to come up because it's technically, the hospital's technically an asset of the city. And they're probably going to want to sit there and talk about that at length. Now,
please, yeah.
So the only thing I can really say is that we've not kept that a secret from the state. Already in working with the state, they know that we are currently and still are in negotiations with Ohio Health. So that's where we're at.
so that's ongoing.
It's still ongoing.
Okay. Because I guess they talked about it, came out like back in, I think it was back in late 24 or 25. And I just don't want to see ourselves cash out, because I mean, these people are going to be with us for like 2 years. I mean, the auditors, I mean, we can sit there and sell for the whole bunch of money, but they're still going to be honest for the next 2 years. So I just hope that if that were the case and they hammer out and they hammer out a contract that's beneficial. 'Cause I've heard everything from, well, they could just sit there and buy property and sit there and set up their own hospital. And I was like, yeah, I'll bet, but where would they set it up, out in the middle of the county? So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there pretty much. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other matters not on the agenda to come before finance? Yes, sir, please come forward. State your name and address.
Steve Logan, 306 Blaine Avenue. I come up to Marion last year, I'm from out of state, and I was quite surprised. I had a water leak, the kids playing with the water hose one day, and the water bill went up $200 before I learned where the shut-off was and all that. But I was quite surprised when the utility billing department also charged me $200 for the sewage of that water. Now, I'm from another state, and normally most companies have, you know, if they have a billing department, they have a meter that they can read over. They're not just kind of the rock, paper, scissors, you know, try to guess out just because going by Aqua's billing, that they are allowed to bill us the same amount when it didn't go in the sewer to begin with.
I understand your point, but wouldn't that be the same meter? Whether Aqua was providing the meter or the city was providing your water, it's still the same meter, right?
Yes, but to be charged it twice from Aqua and also from the sewage? That's just not right. I've been through a lot of towns, a lot of cities, I've never heard one do that, never in my life.
If I'm not mistaken, though, isn't the sewage based on a percentage of the water?
It's based on usage.
It's based on
Gallons of
usage,
which-
yeah.
Which we get the meter readings from Aqua. And
Okay.
that's how our billing
But there's,
goes out.
it's not a gallon
We're
per
not getting
gallon.
both of those amounts. Aqua's getting their payment, and we're getting our payment for the utility.
But what I'm wondering is,
The same
if
exact amount.
if a gallon of water is used at Aqua, we don't charge them for a gallon of water in sewage, do we?
Correct.
Correct, same thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm from out of town, so I was wondering after they're done tearing up all the roads, are they gonna repave them? Because every road in town has holes. Every road in town.
My
I've never
thoughts
seen a
too.
town so sad.
Yeah, it's bad. I agree with your sentiments there.
Okay, thank you.
Anything further from the public? I thought I saw somebody back there. No? You had something? No? All right. Seeing none, we are adjourned.
Ching, bada, da, bing.
Shut off.